Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Vermont. And I'm going to try to teach you guys that it's okay to die. I know, crazy concept. Things are going to happen occasionally. And the one exception when I say it's okay to die is simple. If your dying is directly beneficial to your team's chances to win the match, that's when it's okay. If you're just throwing yourself away the first moments of the match because you just want to, like, that doesn't make any sense, right? But there will be times where you have to make the decision that at the end of the day, your team's winning the battle is more important than you living. This is a difficult decision for a lot of people to make. And, I mean, it shouldn't be, oh my god. Hello, Vermont, and hello, Poison. Plow! Alright, not bad. 22,000 damage opening salvo. We'll take that. But anyway, this is a hard decision for a lot of people to make because they tend to get hung up on the idea that dying is bad. And in most cases, yes, that is correct. However, in World of Warships Legends, I talk about trading all the time. Why do we talk about trading? Because trading is important. Whether it's trading your life for a priority target, or whether it's trading hit points between ships, who's getting the better end of the trade, you know, as long as you're coming out on the top of the trade, like, that's a good thing, right? But a lot of people just don't understand when to make those decisions. For instance, being broadside that close to the enemy ships, you know they're there, right? You know that they're there. You know if you get spotted that they're going to be shooting at you. So angling away, like you saw at the beginning of the match. I shot at the Poison. Did I stay broadside? No, I angled away to negate as much damage as possible because at the end of the day, dying early in the match is no bueno. It's no good. You don't want it. But that being said, there are times where trading makes a lot of sense, or putting yourself in a position to be essentially fodder for your team. Okay, oh my god, hello Ohio. Man, Vermont is slapping in this one. Yeah, this is going to be a juicy one, y'all. But at the end of the day, as long as you're coming out on the positive side of the trades, you're going to be beneficial to your team. And we just got slapped right back. Vermont, we've said it before, we'll say it again, Vermont has very flat armor, so you have to be perfectly angled in order to negate a lot of damage with your armor belt, and that's just very difficult to do at long range, because those shells are coming in so steep that if they hit literally anywhere, they're pretty much going through. You just can't really angle that well. Now, you saw that I angled away earlier. We can, in fact, get bounces and shatters off of the belt angling away, but it's much easier to just try not to get hit in the first place. But that belt armor does get a lot better as you get closer to the enemy target. Sorry, I had to yawn for a second. Every single time I try to do a narration, I end up yawning. I don't know why. I just, every time. It's almost as bad as every time I go live, I have to go to the bathroom. Every time. It's like, some people, if they're having a bad time and they're not able to go to the bathroom, they like eat prune or drink prune juice or laxatives of some sort. I just try to go live. As soon as I click or get ready to click the button to go live, my stomach is like, yep, you gotta go. And it's perfect. I'm like, all right, that's what I was after. I got you again, buddy. You can't win. Oh my god. That's a wrong move, Salem. Oh, bloody. Bloop. Ah, we overled him. But we still slapped the out of him, and Arthas was active on that one, so that one hurt a lot. But I want you guys to keep an eye on that Salem. Remember, we just slapped that man for, like, all of his health, right? But look at what the enemies are doing. I mean, what reality is this a good idea? There isn't one. There's no idea where this, being this broadside in the middle of the map, with most of the enemy team still alive, is a good thing, right? Like, it's just not a good look. You're gonna die. That's just how it goes. And in that situation, that's a bad trade. You're trading all of your hit points for what? 1 or 2 shots? Not a good trade. What are the odds that the 1 or 2 shots that you take is going to be a net positive when you give up all your hit points and die? Does it make sense? That's why I'm trying to break this down. Because this is going to get a lot more meaningful in a few moments. Because this game is going to go down to the wire. But it's also going to showcase unwillingness to put themselves in harm's way at all, which is going to ultimately lead to me being sacrificed. And, you know, don't get me wrong, somebody's got to go swimming in the lava, but at the end of the day, if you're not taking advantage of said swimming in the lava, then is it really beneficial to the team? Now, the reason I say this is because I am going to put myself in a position that is not the best for me, but it allows my team to take advantage. Now, paying attention to what's going on the map. Top left corner, you got 2 battleships over there backtracking, right? They have been having a rough day over there with a lot of people shooting at them, and now you'll notice that their people that were shooting at them are now shooting at me. I'm trying to stay angled to the Preußen in front of me. The cruiser on my right has been shooting at that Salem ever since I took all of his health a while ago. He's doing a little bit of damage here and there, but it's relatively inconsequential at the greater scheme of things.
Concentrate fire
right?
on the designated target.
So what would be more beneficial to the team? Continuing to spend multiple minutes shooting at a target that's kiting away that you're barely hitting once in a while, or putting yourself in a position to help with other targets that may be higher priority, aka somebody who's not kiting to the back corner of the map, right? Well, currently the cruiser's headed back towards me, but as you can see, I'm continuing to try to put shots into the superstructure of the Preußen, and I'm trying to angle with him, but you'll notice that once again, as soon as I angle against him, I'm getting crossfire. Crossfires work both ways, folks, and I am intentionally putting myself in said crossfire for the same reason that we talked about. I know that I can take hits, right? I can do this as well as just about anybody in the game, right? That's one of the things that you'll learn when you are literally public enemy number 1. Now, Poison gets a very good salvo there, Citadel's me actually, and we return fire by destroying one of his guns, which is good for me because, you know, one less gun to shoot at me. Also, it generally forces the enemy to make a really bad turn, and you can see that he does in fact make that turn, but before he gets his main guns online, I go ahead and take a shot trying to finish him off. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way, and once again I have to angle, and you can see at close range, even against these 18-inch really good guns of the freaking Preußen, at close range, this armor belt is very good at getting, you know, stopping enemy penetrations. Now, this is the part that gets frustrating for me. The Salem is 9.4 kilometers away. And this is going to be one of those times where you can see he's trying to turn away, but he's not really going to turn. He's just trying to run, put some space between us. RNG going to do what RNG does. We splash on both sides of the ship, landing only a single hit right into the center of the ship, getting a full penetration. But you can see we are about to get another gun. He wasn't expecting that. He thought we just fired. This was our chance, and maybe I over-rushed this shot a little bit, didn't lead him enough, expecting him to realize that he's being shot back and deciding to run. But I still have a battleship behind me. Okay, that battleship behind me has done basically nothing all this time. And our Dalian is still not able to hit this guy. Now, if you're in this situation, and you're struggling to hit a ship over and over and over again for minutes on end, maybe decide to do something different. You know, just try to move yourself a little bit closer, make those shots a little bit easier for you because you're struggling, right? Light cruisers especially struggle at range to land targets on agile, or land hits on agile targets. And you can see this guy is doing a relatively good job of trying to, you know, mix things up and juke me. And you can see, again, RNG just not being favorable there. But this time I thought I had him. And of course, in true Spartan fashion, I gotta leave him with just enough to continue being a problem. And I'm double fired. His shells are going to do everything that they got to do because, again, he's at 12 kilometers away from a battleship that's slow as molasses in wintertime. So it's not like I can get out of there. And you can see I look back over my shoulder and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, can I get a little bit of help finishing this guy off? But it doesn't matter. They're going to end up finishing him, right? Like, it's just a matter of time. We took all the health off the man, so eventually they will eventually take the guy down. But, again, it's all about those traits, right? Like, I put myself in a good position. What did I end up getting out of that position? Well, we took down one of their poisons for being dumb and being broadside. Then we sailed up into the gap, and while the people on my left were shooting me, that allowed the guys on the left in the battleships to move forward and take advantage of those guys not shooting them, right? So there, we're taking hits from the left side of the map. We're allowing our team to finally get into a better position over there, which they took advantage of, thankfully. And that allowed them to get the advantage on that left flank. And then, not only that, but we also took down the second Preußen. So it's all about those trading moments, right? Giving your team the best possible chance. And again, this guy's backtracking. 21,000 hit points against a guy that has no hit points. And he's like literally reversing away from the Salem. Like, I don't understand. But whatever. The good news is it actually puts him in position to potentially help with the destroyer. The bad news is he doesn't actually help with the destroyer. The destroyer's there. Fortunately, didn't need any help. The BA Montana comes through in the clutch to finish off the destroyer. But a lot of people just don't get the idea of trading hit points, trading their life in some instances. Like, a lot of people just don't understand what it means to trade. And I hope that this game kind of shows you what I mean by trading and what is a good trade versus what is a bad trade. We've seen bad trades during this match. We've seen good trades during this match. I do not mind dying as long as it gives my team an innate advantage. Now, you look at this. Our team has all of the caps. We are, right down to the wire with 2 ships left. But there's no way for the enemy destroyer to kill both of these guys, most likely, before the end of the match, meaning we just win. We are going to win on points very soon. So, this is why I try to point these things out, because it's teaching moments like this that I think that a lot of people can learn from. Now, again, I don't think that the people that need to learn this the most are the ones that are out here actually watching these videos, because by now you guys got a pretty good understanding of what a good trade is versus a bad trade. Sitting broadside in front of the entire team to get one shot away and then lose all of your hit points is a bad trade, right? Doesn't take rocket science, right? But if you can put yourself in a position where you're taking fire from one side of the map while also dealing with your side of the map, and you're able to sustain that with good play, whether it be angling well or understanding who's shooting at you and where, if you're able to do that in such a way that it puts your team in an advantage, then you're going to win more than not, right? These are the reasons why the better the player, the higher the win rate. It doesn't mean that one way or another. It's just that one person can, in fact, influence the end of the match. And here you go. Perfect example. Notice that the Kurfürst that was all the way in the back the entire game and ended up dying, and then the Dalian were lower on the leaderboard. Did they do good things? Absolutely. They captured bases. Well, one of them captured a base, but they also did a lot of questionable things that they could have done better. But in the end, one player putting themselves in a position to trade themselves, but getting a good trade out of it, influences the match in a positive way for their team. So, at the end of the day, put yourself in good positions and do not be afraid to sacrifice yourself if you have to. But don't just give up. Take everything that you can on your way out, right? Prioritize targets, all right? Go for the targets that make the most sense at who is going to influence the battle. In a situation where you have cruisers, for instance, cruisers are much more likely to influence the end of a match than most battleships are. Why? Because battleships are easy to shoot. They just are. They're big, slow, heavy targets. They can't really get out the way of anything, so they're easy to target. Whereas cruisers, much more agile, so that's why we shot over the battleships to shoot the cruiser when we did early in the match, right? And that shot influenced him for the rest of the match because he didn't want to push back in until it was too late. So, little things like that are things that separate average players from good players, right? So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you like this more analytic look at what goes on in a match? Please, let me know. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.